Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen. So we are having fun again on Friday. Fun Friday. We're doing a little mushing technique, but other things. We're going to be using colored pencils today to create the Forsythia abstract. Well, it's semi-abstract. It's not really all abstract. Wonderful, moody kind of paintings. If you've never tried doing these techniques, you should try it. We're going to be picking up some watercolor pencils and actual pencils. Drawing is key in this one. Getting out your frustrations is great on this one. If you have any questions, leave in the comment section. This is so doable for any skill level, and actually a really skilled painter and a novice can have a lot of fun using this technique. I mean, it's so versatile. So like I said, if you have any questions, leave in the comment section, but let's have some fun and let's enjoy some watercolor. All right, so to begin with, let's practice a little bit about these wonderful little blooms. They're just like a simple star. I'm just taking a Princeton 10 round Velvet Touch series, and you're just making like push down, see, like that. It's like a 4-petal star for the actual flower that's on these branches. But we're gonna just kind of like really just go through. You can pretend there's the branch stem here. So that's what the actual flowers kind of look like. But we're gonna indicate that on our lovely painting, but it's more of an abstract. So I'm going to use Fabriano block here because it's bright white paper. I love that. We're going to be playing with some Caran d'Ache watercolor pencils and a regular pencil, etc., etc. So let's just start off maybe like making like a vase. It can just be like a cylinder vase. I have something similar to this in blue, but we're going to play around with yellow with the Forsythia. Cylinder, just like a line down, and really just sketching the vase. This is not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be a sketchy kind of look to it, right? And then from here, we're going to put these little branches coming out. The Forsythia would be on them. And it's going to go like this. Really haphazard. See how I'm just going to draw this really haphazard. We're going to have fun with this. See, like branch, kind of goofy. You can draw the little flowers on here even with your pencil. See, I'm indicating some of the flowers. It's really kind of scribbles of like the 4 or 5 stars in here. But don't have to make that vase perfect. Just a cylinder. I'm going to erase this little mark I made over here. And some of them that are just kind of like really goofy. You know, you want that look of the cylinder vase. It can be see-through or not see-through. It's up to you. Kind of making mine see-through. And if you want to put it on a table, whatever, it's up to you. You know, see how I just did a simple cylinder vase? Don't get bogged down in how it's supposed to look. And just these little branches coming off. 5 seconds, right? Really, don't be afraid to get really kind of creative and sketchy and go fast. See, I'm going fast. I'm just drawing these little blooms on here fast with the pencil. Blah, blah, blah. And now I'm going to take my watercolor pencils from Caran d'Ache. There's different color types of like orangey yellow. I'm going to go over these things too. See? Another orange kind of color tone. And then we have like a yellow-orange color tone here. So just making like almost like little rounded stars. Simple scribbles of the blooms. You see that with the pencils? This is something you can, I'm getting like pencil all over my paper. This is something you can do like, you know, put the music on, hanging out, scribble, 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 like little blooms here, scribbling, scribble. Lots of fun. And different tones of yellows and oranges. It's like a lemony yellow here. For the actual branch, grab a brown. You can make it a little bit darker. See, I'm just going to go in here and adding the brown. Get all your frustrations out with these watercolor pencils. Super fun. I know. Someone's going to say, you make it look so easy. Seriously, people, it's just branches and a cylinder. You can do this. Stop saying you can't. I think you guys talk yourself out of stuff too easily. And that's my biggest thing. Don't do that. Just try it. So I'm just making a scribble. So remember we painted this shape here? That's the scribble. It's just like this. If you want me to slow down, so it's scribble, scribble, like do something like this. And you're gonna scribble, and you can make a bunch of branches, and you're scribbling that all over. We're gonna be using paint as well as the watercolor pencils, but it's kind of fun to have a play between the two of them. And now I'm just gonna really just scribbling. I mean, really, you can just take your pencil and do this kind of scribble mark. Let me show you up close. Like that. Sorry, my lighting was off, but basically, see that? Something like that. So I'm gonna go back in here. Just gonna scribble, scribble, scribble. I'm gonna really try to fill it in too. Not like, you do want some air kind of happening. You don't want it on every single branch. And you don't want it down here. There really isn't much greenery. There is some when they kind of bloom, but you can see a little bit. You can get some greens in there. I wouldn't suggest to put a lot of it in there, just a little bit here and there. Little green leaves. But mostly it's just really kind of yellow, 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 orangey yellow, etc., etc. If you do want to put in, I'm going to erase some of my pencil. It's all from my hand here. Getting on everything. Smudging. If you wanted to have a color on your cylinder, you know, your vase, if you wanted to make it blue glass, whatever, you could do that. Do a little blue here. Pencil. Not necessary. You just kind of play around with it. All right. So I'm going to finish scribbling mine, and then we're going to come back and play with some watercolor and water. All right, I scribbled enough is what I wanted to do. We're going to start playing with just adding water, and then we're going to mix some yellow paint in here. I have a flat wash brush. This is 3/4 inch. Just going to grab some clear water and see the magic. Oh yeah. Just kind of mushing that paint. I'm going to grab it, tap it on my paper towel. See, just twisting. Grab it, clean it off again. You don't even have to add that much water. Look how cool that is. Now I'm going to add clear water and kind of lift some of this off. Just move it like that. Isn't that cool? That's the beauty. You're playing with watercolor pencils. So now I've got the brown in there. I've activated that. And then I'm just kind of twisting my brush. I'm lifting up some of the paint and tapping it back on the paper towel. See, like almost like you're mopping it, because there's a lot of yellow happening there, which we want. I'm going to lift some of this up. Ooh, really kind of fun, right? And hit the stems in there. You can kind of continue it with the watercolor. See how, you know, this is activated, and you could just take that watercolor from the pencil and kind of pull it down too. Didn't know you could do that, right? But you can. And just twisting the color from the actual pencil. Already it's cool, right? Have you ever tried this? Now I might get a bigger brush and really play with it. So you take a big brush, get some water on there, and just really kind of swipe and see what happens. Yep, see? More fun. I'm going to grab some water out here. Now I have this paper's on a block. If you don't have a block, or if it's not stretched, it could buckle. So be careful putting too much water. But look at that nice yellow tone happening. Ooh, look at that. And the vase, etc. The brown's kind of melding in the blue. Look how pretty that looks right there. I'm just loving it. And see the spots that are white? Those are the areas that I did not hit. You can kind of play with keeping that. Take some of your paper towel and remove some color if you want. I just think it's really fun. Isn't that real? Right there. I love that. Now I'm going to play with adding some color for the vase. I just feel like it's sad. It's alone. Grabbing some paper towels if you heard that noise. Paper towels. Always have those close by. Or you can use a nice towel itself, reusable towel. Now I have to think to myself, what color vase would look nice with this yellow. Could be gray. Gonna remove some of this. By the way, we can do those little petals that I talked about earlier in the beginning. Yellow, ultramarine blue, and burnt sienna. Nice gray here. Maybe more in the blue tone. Let's see, let's play with this a little bit. Gonna add some of this color in the vase. Make it more interesting. See, this is kind of an abstract, so it doesn't matter. You're not gonna screw it up. Just using the chisel end, which is this end right here. And go over some of those lines that we kind of drew in. And we can get them a little bit darker. And go down here. Oops. There we go. Interesting, right? I'm just playing here. There's no particular rhyme or reason to any of my madness. And that's the fun of it. I'll get a little bit darker here on the top. That's a little more brown than I want more gray. Again, chisel end, just playing with the wet on wet color now. Some of these little techniques you should be trying. Don't you like that little, that's why I like the flat wash brush. It gets these nice little lines like this. It's really kind of cool. Right there, I'm still loving this. Now, the bottom of the table, I will make it more on the brown tone. I'm going to grab the big, huge brush. This is a 2-inch flat wash, cheapy brush that I got I think I got at Hobby Lobby or something. I'm grabbing more burnt sienna now. So when the brown is mixed into the blue, oh, yellow, that was lemon yellow, got mixed in there. Just kind of going around, maybe a little bit in that vase. That's our table. Really simple little wash going across like that. See, we're creating some fun here. That's what it's all about, guys. It really is. Don't make your life so complicated. Enjoy it. I think people get too frustrated on, I mean, watercolor is a frustrating medium. I have to tell you, it is not simple. You did pick a difficult medium. So now you can lift some of the color if it's too wet, if you want some highlights. See? Woo. Lifting and tapping on a paper towel. Those highlights. All this fun stuff. Right? This is very, very wet. I can go back in and add some blue with some more burnt sienna. Let's see, we got some shadows. We can make it darker on the right side. I tend to do that often. Sometimes people gravitate towards one side when they're doing shadows. Mine always seems to be in the right. Right? Right? And so that's brown for the table. I'm going to lift some of this color up. And I'll add more blue for the background. Again, that's just ultramarine blue deep. All my supplies are always in my description box. And I'm going to go back here, start playing around with putting that color in here. Oops. Kind of just twist it up here. And I'll add some cadmium yellow deep. Melded it into this. See how that looks. Ooh, yeah. See, very abstract, kind of fun. See, it's like a cast shadow kind of situation happening. And now I'm going to clean off my brush. See, I moved that blue up here. I'm going to move up here. The yellow. Kind of sweet, right? I'll get a little bit deeper with the color again. I might wait till it dries a bit so I can go back in and add some more deeper tones. It's really kind of happening, kind of fun right here, right? And it's just kind of lost a little bit here. We can add some of this yellow up in here. And oh, please, by all means, take your big brushes, your loose Neptune series, whatever, yellow, and splatter a little bit. Have some fun. Did I mention that? We're having fun here. Look how cool that looks. This took 0 time, and the effect is amazing, right? And it's a little puddle, so I might just kind of mush. You know I love the mush, and you should try it. If you haven't tried it, try it. I just love this look right in here. That's just me. Now it feels very white. and missing something. So I kind of pull some color down here. I might grab some more yellow, water down. It just feels like it needs some kind of color here. Just pulling all the yellow in there. Sweet though, isn't it? Did you know you could take your color pencils while it's still wet and kind of play with that and add that in? See? This is like that yellow-orange color. If I grab the brown, oops, if I don't knock everything over in my my desk, you can do that too. You can go back in here and add the brown stem. Kind of lost some of our stems, right? Then go back in here. All this good stuff. Look at that. Just really, and I love seeing the pencil line still in there. Just different techniques. You could paint a realistic flower if you want to, but I want to show you some more fun stuff. I love things with expression, and I just feel like, you know, realistic flowers are nice and sweet and all that good stuff, but they don't express how you're feeling, you know? When you're doing something like this, you can have a whole different look with a vase and the flowers, and you're having a day, maybe you're having a bad day and the flowers are more intense, like darker. If you're having a great day, it seems like I'm having a good day today because the sun is out and the flowers are prettier, like brighter. So thick paint yellow, maybe a little bit of burnt sienna. We do those little 4 petals that we talked about. Put some realistic ones in there. Right up in here, over here. You know, you add some other stuff to it. It isn't just the pencil being mushed. You're going back in and putting in some color. You know, even some green. I'm going to grab some Prussian blue and mix that in there. And throw in some green. Don't be shy with the green. If you want to leave more brown green, like add some more burnt umber and Prussian blue and get it more darker. Just tap some of that in. Again, you're just changing it up by adding that. See how that just changed that whole look now? Because we added some dark greens. You know, you don't have to have it all brown and yellow. Just changed it. And this is going to dry, and I can go over that with some deeper color too. The yellow can get a little bit more orangey. Can add some cadmium yellow, cadmium red light, and I can start to tap in some of those blooms here. See, just tippy tap. Go like this. Add the blooms, and go like that. Adding some more blooms out here too. And then it kind of like bled and it lost its little shape. So I might just kind of tap that a little bit. I don't really want it to be like a blob. So I think I'm gonna have to wait till that section dries a little bit. But over here, we can do those blooms. They're like V's in some areas. They're like a star. Just kind of put those in. And we can always kind of mush these too after you put them in. That's kind of a nice look. If you don't, I've got lemon yellow too. Try different yellows too. I have cadmium yellow deep, but I also have a lemon yellow. So if you've got a bunch of yellows, play around with that. And I'm kind of mushing that here. Making a little more bolt. But look at, this was a very fast tutorial already. And we're going to go let this dry and add in some more depth. It's still very wet. Well, actually, no, it kind of dried. With the side there, I'll go back and grab my flat wash brush. The 2 colors that make the lovely grays, ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. And let's see, let's play around with some depth shadows with this color. And try not to get my vase too much. Just gonna go and lift that section I painted by accident. There. I just kind of mush this. See, I'm just twisting the brush. Could make like little lines. That's fine. Cross-hatching kind of lines. Again, I'm going to get a little bit darker back here. The shadows. You can have the twisty twist twist. So maybe it's like making a shadow against the wall. A little more blue. And of course the table can really have a nice deep dark. Play with that. Get that more intense shadow. Really kind of from the middle of the vase going down. Now you say to yourself, well, the vase is so light, doesn't make sense, right? And you have to play with that a little bit. So I'll grab the 10 brush and start playing. Oh, it has a lot of yellow on that. Things like this happen. The blue and the burnt sienna. Make some grays. Now you can make it not see-through. You can make it really kind of a solid vase, but then you wouldn't see the branches. It's up to you. So I'm going to add some more depth with this. Go in here. Play around. There's no right and wrong with this vase. Now a little more blue. Mix the two, get a little bit darker still. I do like little taps, dark color here and there. Helps highlight it a little better. I didn't like that. Made too much of a line going across. You know, the beauty of that is you can just lift it up really quick and just erase what you did. Sometimes you can fix things pretty quickly. And again, I'm going to go back in with some color here. Really kind of have fun with this really simple scenario. And I'm going to go in here, add some color there. And again, it's just really kind of an abstract. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I feel like the table needs a color still. I made that dark line, but I'm just playing with it. So I can go back in and grab some more brown. That looks pretty dark, and I'm going to lighten it up by adding some more water, going over this. So that's changed also. You see how this works? You didn't want a harsh line, you can kind of soften it. So you added some water and it softened it. So it's a softer shadow going that way. See? And you can kind of pull it in this way. You can play with this a little bit. So kind of like that. I might add some of that brown on here on my vase, even still. And again, I might just get a little bit darker back here. This blue brown. It makes it more interesting. If I feel like it's getting too dark, I can lift it up a little bit, like over in here. Okay, I don't want to fuss with this too much. Do want to grab some more blue though. Remember, it's an abstract, so you can't screw it up. You just can't. All right, I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to play with the yellow. Now here, it just seems kind of stale. Something's bothering me there. I don't know what it is. I might have to put some of this color. Just to change it up a little bit and add some more color in here. It just feels stale. Maybe add some blue. See that? Just twist some of that color in there. Just seemed pokey. So now it's a little more moody, isn't it? It's not as bright and cheery like it's the first time. And again, if I feel like this is too dark back here, I might just lift some of this. See, I'm scribbling with my paintbrush with some water. And then I'll go back with the paper towel. Kind of lift some of that paint. You don't want to do too much of this because it could wreck your picture. But you can play with it a little bit. Oops. Gives it a nice texture at the same time. Same thing with this. I might lift some of this up. I'm playing a little bit. If I feel like, wait a minute, what happened to my glass? especially right here. Right at the end here. Right? You want to feel like the glass is there still. Again, he's just playing with this. Let's see where it goes. It might not be for you, but I felt like it was getting so dark. And I don't want that. I think it's a little moody, but a little too moody. If you get my drift. Oops. There we go. Not bad. Now it's moody, but in a good way, right? And if this got a little too dark for you, you can, again, it's kind of fun to play with that lifting technique. Now it's even prettier. So then we have this lovely little moody kind of looking floral, and I'm going to just scribble up a little bit more here. I'll add some of those blooms that we talked about. So you grab a Princeton 10 or whatever brush you have. It's a nice round brush, and you take your yellow and you're making those little blooms that go like little V's, little stars. Thicker paint too, like butter consistency right out of the tube. Just gonna go like that. I'll add some branches to it in a second, but pretty much it's all done. I'm just gonna add a few more touches to it. I like the look with the pencil, just kind of haphazard blooms, and the funky little moody vase, you know. I don't want it to do like bouquet that's all like this. I really kind of meant to just mostly have it kind of going like this, but somehow we went off the rails a little bit. Maybe I'm putting the branch in here so it indicates that it's mostly going left. See how you can play with this? Take that watercolor pencil and kind of just really see how I just did that. I can go back in with the scribbles again, or even just painting now the blooms, right? We can just do little lines. It's up to you. All of it is worth all your time playing with this situation here. And that's how we do our For Cynthia abstract. I still kind of feel like this line is bugging me. Whoops! You guys know I'm crazy. I'm going to just kind of erase this a little bit. Ooh, yes. And this one was just bugging me too. Much better, right? Do you see it coming back to life a little bit? Yeah. It's moody, but we don't want it super moody. I just feel it now. And I'll erase just a little bit more here. I want it lighter, these. Much better. So, I hope these techniques are fun for you. Really play with your watercolor pencils. This didn't take much time at all. You add some greens, you know, get all your frustrations. You're just scribbling with the greens and then the browns. Get all your frustrations out with the pencils. It's really a scribble kind of design. I mean, really. You can say like a little child can do this, but not really, because, you know, it's intuitive painting. You're feeling the colors and the style and the this part is a little more sophisticated. So I hope it was fun. I know I like it. I like to have fun. And then you can see how moody you can get on this side. But this little experiment of mine, I love playing with. If you feel like it get too yellow, you can kind of lift some over here, or even add some blues, whatever. Purples would be kind of fun. So let me know if you enjoyed this. Similar to my other one with the teacups, I think it's just fun to play with this mushing technique, but this time we're using pencils. And you should try and use your watercolor pencils this way. You know, do all this scribbling kind of crazy and wild techniques, and then go in and kind of just take the water and move it around, and you create some really kind of wonderful blooms or designs. It doesn't have to be flowers. It could be an actual element. So I hope you enjoy this. If you really like my tutorials here and you're enjoying them, why not consider joining my Patreon, where we have exclusive and extensive tutorials that are not here on YouTube. You get the extended versions that are on YouTube, etc. Just a place where people can support my channel, which I really appreciate. You can check out the link in the description box if you want to join, and can join and cancel anytime. Thank you so much for stopping by. And please don't forget to hit the bell notification button. Some people said they're not seeing my tutorials, and that's because you're not hitting the notification button to know when they're up. All right, guys, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.